everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today we have a new monthly plan with me video in my Hobonichi cotton journal, and we are gonna set up some very spring appropriate pages so that everything is ready when April officially starts. At the end of this video, I'll also flip through all my March pages and give you a quick update on how I've been using this journal lately. I've taken this approach to have a color and decoration theme for each month, and this month the theme is very special. I'm gonna use my own spring collection items that recently launched in my shop. The collection is called Swan Lake, and I've been dying to use these products. There are some that I designed literally months ago, so I really hope you excuse me for this shameless self-promo this month. I know a lot of you have already placed your orders and are waiting for some inspiration. Anyway, we'll start with an April cover spread for which I use these extra monthly pages in the daily section. I think it's nice to have this clear divider between each month, and it also serves as a nice overview of the colors and decorations to come. It was so hard for me to choose which decorations to go for on this cover spread, but I finally decided to avoid the more pink colors in this collection since I had a very pink bows and pearls heavy theme in March. So here I'm leaning more towards the neutrals and the blue and green tone decorations. So we'll use this light blue sparkly sky pattern in the background and some items from the paper labels kit. Then we'll add a few of these hanging leaf stickers from the pet tape, this small ballet dancer sticker that will come as a freebie sticker in almost all orders, and some swans and texts from the white sticker sheet. It took me a while, as always, to find a layout I liked, so I was trying out different items here and there, layered them differently, and then started to glue some of the background layer items first once I felt pretty sure about them. These scrapbooking style pages are still definitely a hit and miss for me. Sometimes everything works out, but sometimes it's easy to go too far and use too many products. I also try to limit how much I layer products on each page in this journal and try to switch the placement of the decorations in general so that there isn't one spot in the pages that gets overly thick over time. I was thinking about writing an April title here, but at the same time, I really didn't want to ruin the minimalist look with an ugly title, so I decided to use this monthly title sticker instead, and then I added a few smaller decorations here and there, and also drew some sparkles with a gray brush pen. I don't know if this looks like a monthly cover page much, probably because the title is quite small, but I do like all the decorations and colors together, so I'm still very happy with this. Then let's jump to the back of my journal, and I'm gonna show you a few Tombow brush pens that I think I will use this month. There are quite a few colors that would match, but I was trying to find some of the most desaturated colors. So we have the gray-green color, this dark ochre shade, which is one of my new pen colors. I think it would suit a more floral heavy spread. Then we have the holly green, then carnation and light apricot from the more pink colors. And as always, I think a few neutrals work with almost every theme. And I think warm gray 1 and 5 looks really good, as well as cappuccino. There are definitely other colors too, so if you don't own these pens, I think you can still find colors to go with this collection. And then let's flip one page to my ink swatch section. And I recently got this new ink. I literally just swatched it, so I didn't even write the color name yet. This was a total impulse purchase, but isn't this the prettiest spring color you've ever seen? It's the Sailor Yurameku ink in Amamoyoi, and it's this grayish sage green with a pretty strong pink shift. I just fell in love when I saw this swatched in the store, and it's a match made in heaven for this collection. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this ink on the daily pages in April. Then before we jump to the monthly calendar, I'll quickly fill my theme overview page, which is what I use the timetable page for. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I like how this page is turning out as much as I imagined. There's such a limited space each month that this automatically looks a little bit messy, but I guess it still serves the purpose. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about this. Let's say maybe not a page I'll repeat next year. But now it's time to flip over to the beginning of the journal and set up the monthly calendar page. I feel like I have a lot to talk about on this one, so I will try to ramble as little as possible. I was really excited to set this one up because I have had this idea pretty much since I started to use the Hobonichi cousin, which is to use some type of thin tape to cover the daily title rows. So that type of product is exactly what I wanted to create for my shop. I launched these thin washi tapes together with the spring collection. They are 8mm wide, which means that they perfectly match 2 rows in the Hobonichi journals, which allows you to use them to cover any of the titles, use them as dividers or title backgrounds in general, and of course these are also great to use for any type of decorating. I came up with 12 colors in total, but if you're wondering which ones are the best for this collection specifically, I'd say that it's these 4, which are the blush pink, sage green, light blue, and beige. I'm using the blush pink one on this spread, and afterwards we're gonna add round number stickers on top of this tape. Washi tapes are always slightly see-through, so it doesn't hide everything completely, but I think it still really smooths out the color and creates slightly more even look. Then I used these weekday title stickers at the top row. Usually I've been using my TheCoffeeMosterzCo monthly kits for the titles, but I decided to keep it up with the theme this time. These title stickers are also on the clear sticker paper, so it doesn't cover the daily information completely. Honestly, I kind of wish that it did. But overall, the clear sticker paper is so superior. It's also a very popular option for you guys, which is why I try to create them. So I hope you won't mind too much. I also made the weekday titles slightly narrower this time around so that they fit the Hobonichi cousin width. And of course, they can still be used in a bullet journal, but now I think they are just a little bit more versatile for many different journals. But after we have all the basic calendar decorations, we can start to work on the corners and the bottom edge. I usually like to hide this top corner information thing because I don't really need to see it. So I added the same paper pattern on top that we used on the cover page. And then I added some stickers and an April title using these alphabet stickers. After that, we can move to the bottom edge, where I started by adding this greenish spring flower washi tape. And then we're gonna add some similar decorations on top here. I was using some stickers from the pet tape and then some from the clear sticker sheet, like this bigger swan sticker and the clouds. But now that the decorations are done, let's jump to actually filling up the calendar. I usually start from the side column that I use to list a few important things each month. Believe it or not, I need to finish the designs for the summer collection this month. I know the spring collection just launched, but the manufacturing takes a bit longer these days as I have more products to order. Then another big goal for me in April is that I don't want to work on the weekends anymore. I want to change my working routine in a way that I can have a full 2 days off because I feel like I honestly can't keep going like this. Maybe it's because of the spring and the idea that I really want to go outside and live my life. I don't know, but for the longest time, I've been pretty happy with 1 free day per week and maybe a few free days in a row here and there throughout the year. But sometimes the work spills on that 1 free day, and I feel like even that is not enough to truly disconnect. And I realized that I just don't really have energy or the mental space for anything else in my life. Please don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful and happy about what I do. I really don't want this to come across the wrong way, but to some extent, work is still work, and I've been working maybe a little bit too hard for years at this point. I think it's natural when you're in a growing stage and when you're trying to challenge something new, especially working as a freelancer or a small business owner, but I'm not necessarily in that growing stage anymore, and I feel like I need to start taking my work-life balance seriously because I can feel the burnout coming. I know there are many things that I can improve in my daily routine to be more effective and get the work done before the weekend, so I think exploring that kind of stuff will be a big goal for me in April. But speaking of work-life balance, as I mentioned last time, we are going for a short trip to Bali with my husband. It's for our 5th year wedding anniversary. So I will be gone for a few days, which also means that there is no shipping during that time. But since we're there only for 4 nights, I decided to keep my shop open and you can still leave orders, which will just be shipped a little bit later than normal. But because of this little break in the schedule, I will need to postpone some of the videos a little bit as well. The first video I'll post after coming back will be my 2nd quarter reading journal video. I actually wrote this on the wrong weekend first and moved it to the 2nd week because I don't think there's any way I can get the video done in these few days when I also need to manage all the pending orders. And I'm so sorry for everyone who enjoys the weekly plan with me videos, but I don't think I have time to film one this month, so I hope the reading journal video will help at least a little bit. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned in the previous videos, but if you're wondering how I use this journal to plan ahead, I literally just use a regular pencil to write things in advance, and then when the time comes to actually set up that spread, I just erase it and write it again with a nicer pen. So this way I can plan ahead and add stuff I need to remember without sacrificing the decorations. But I think that's it for the monthly calendar. I really like how this turned out. I think the thin washi tape adds such a nice colorful touch here without taking any extra space. And since we are not gonna do a weekly plan with me video this month, I wanted to start setting up the first full weekly spread a little bit because I was thinking about trying something a little bit different on the side column. Of course, there is nothing I can really write here yet because we are over a week away, but it doesn't stop us from preparing the decorations a little bit. I started by adding these light pink weekday stickers at the top, and then I used the beige thin washi tape and added these hanging jewelry stickers from it. I actually did a doodle like this in the March Plan With Me video, so you can go check that one out for some simple doodle ideas that I think also match this theme pretty well. And then I wanted to use the cloudy sky washi tape at the bottom of this spread. I don't know if the colors here went together perfectly, but this cloud tape kind of has some pink and beige, so I thought it was good enough. I also added this big ballerina sticker to the bottom corner that I usually don't need for anything, and after that we can quickly set up this side column. First, I usually leave a little bit of space for some important tasks this week. And after that, I wanted to set up a small habit tracker, which I actually haven't done in this journal yet. I'm using these clear journaling stickers again, and then these super cute TheCoffeeMosterzCo tiny icon stickers for the habits. I added a workout one, a knitting one, and then this book icon for reading. So very simple, but still a little bit different from what I've been doing so far. And then there was just enough space in the bottom to still fit my regular sleep tracker. So yeah, that's pretty much all we can do for now in terms of this weekly spread, but I'll try to film maybe a short of setting up one other weekly spread this month, since there won't be a separate video about it. Also, I know I didn't do any doodles or pretty much anything except just using stickers in this video. And for those of you who prefer to see something actually written or drawn, I'm very sorry. Honestly, I was filming and editing this video on the weekend after a very long order packing and shipping week. This was all I could manage this time, but I promise next month I will include some more doodles and handwritten title options for you. But now that all the April stuff is set up, let's quickly flip over the March pages and see how everything turned out. I'll keep the flip through a little bit shorter this month and talk through the pages in this voiceover. So let's start from the monthly calendar. I don't think I have too much to say about this. I definitely could not stick with my Instagram schedule this month. You'll see that the spring launch definitely caused some inconsistencies because it usually takes up all my time and energy, and I feel like my whole life is put on a pause for a week or two. So you can definitely see that in the March pages as well. Anyway, then let's flip to the weekly pages, and this first full week is the one that I set up in the weekly plan with me video. I tried to film a lot of pages I was setting up that week, so if you're interested to see everything a little bit slower, I recommend you to check out that one. I think this is probably my personal favorite this month. I really like how the big girl stickers look at the bottom. And I've really been enjoying this pink florally theme in March. I have a lot of products that kind of match this theme, so it's been nice to go through my collection and use up all those products. And then in terms of actually using these weekly pages, I don't think anything has really changed that much. I only actively fill something in the weekly pages maybe 2 or 3 times a week, apart from just using the sleep tracker. And then I use most of my time every day on the daily pages. The next week is very light pink and girly. I was using a lot of these bow stickers from the Leelajournals pet tape, and I also used some of her book stickers at the bottom of the page. I think I might have gone a little bit overboard with the decorations on this spread, I'm not gonna lie. But since everything here is quite light and airy, I feel like it doesn't bother me too much. Also, you might notice that sometimes I don't check off everything on these daily or weekly pages. It doesn't always mean that I didn't finish the tasks, it just means that I never went back to this page to actually do that. So Saturday the 15th was my spring launch day, and I kind of fell off with my planner during this second week, which we can especially see on the daily pages. So now that we flip to my official launch packing week, you can see that I actually didn't even do my regular weekly setup here. I just knew that I won't need it or use it because pretty much all I did this week was just packing orders and going to the post office twice a day. So instead of using this the regular way, I just listed how many orders I got, how many orders I packed, and how many I shipped per day. And then I only used this bottom section for other tasks. I also tried to cover up space with some bigger washi tape and decorations here. I was using my last year's spring collection, but this pet tape is actually available again as a pre-cut version. And yeah, I feel like this worked for me pretty well, and I feel good about not forcing myself to stick with the weekly layout when I knew that it's just not gonna work for me. We still have one empty week to go. I will film a full flip through at the end of the month that I will post as a short. So in that one you can actually see the whole month. So now let's flip over to the daily section and we can start from the March cover page that I think turned out so pretty with all these Leelajournals decorations. I also like a lot of the daily spreads this month. It was really enjoyable using a lot of decorations since I wasn't in any danger of running out. So you'll see that a lot of these pages are pretty decoration heavy. I'm also loving this dusty pinkish ink that I was using. It's the Sailor Shikiori ink in the color Kamoshika, which I believe is a little bit newer ink color. It was a little bit difficult to find online, and I just got it from a shop here in Japan. But anyway, so everything worked pretty well for these first few days. These are also the pages that I was setting up in my weekly setup video, so I'm not going to talk about these too much. Something I've noticed is that I often don't feel like using my journal on the weekends. So the Saturday and Sunday pages are quite often ones that I either set up afterwards or ones where I try to cover a lot of space with some bigger decorations. And yeah, I don't know why that is. I feel like if nothing out of the ordinary happens, I don't really have a routine to pick up my journal on the weekends, even when I'm working, and I think that's okay. I'm really big on not trying to force yourself to use a journal because I feel like that's the surest way to build resentment, and then you're gonna start losing on the actual benefits as well. We still have a few regular daily pages here where I just write down a task list and then some quick thoughts or something related to a journaling prompt. But then we start to approach this spring launch date and you can see that the pages start to be a little bit emptier and not necessarily follow my typical layout. I think from Saturday the 15th onward, I set up a lot of these pages later. So on this shop launch date, I just wrote how everything went on that day, and then I used the Sunday page to reflect on the launch overall, and I think I wrote all of these days later. It's just, when I get really busy, I just get into a zone and naturally want to eliminate everything that is not completely necessary. And this was something I knew is gonna happen because this also happened to me every time I had a shop launch when I was using my bullet journal. In almost every one of my bullet journal themes, there was 1 week missing when I just didn't even bother setting up the week. Because if it's a busier week and I kind of know what I need to do, it doesn't always feel necessary for me to use a journal. So there are 2 completely empty pages here, which I might use for something later. And then this Wednesday spread I used for writing about something I was really inspired about at the moment. I think it was about not working on the weekends actually, which is what started my no work weekend goal for April. It's currently Saturday, so I also haven't used this journal today or yesterday. I think I might write something here later today just to catch up. But again, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to do that because it has been a pretty rough week and I just don't want to put this unnecessary pressure on myself when there is really no need to do that. I've also thought about buying one of those photo printing things. So when there are a lot of empty space, it could be a good opportunity to add a small photo instead of writing a bunch of stuff. So I think I might get one of those at some point this year. So yeah, that's all for the March pages. It has definitely been a more interesting month in this journal because it has been out of the ordinary. And I will say that it has been more of a challenge to keep up with this journal, as you can see. My overall feelings about it are still very positive though, and I'm looking forward to getting back to the regular routine once everything kind of calms down a bit. But until then, I'm trying not to be too strict for myself and keep my expectations realistic. I really hope you enjoyed watching and maybe got some new inspiration or ideas. If this was your first time around here and you'd like to stay tuned for more art and journaling, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye!